Spantopia rose. Now, one thing about me is that my middle name is Rose. And the reason that this channel was called Spantopia Rose was because in the early days of when I thought of the name, I thought that every week or every month, every so often, you and I could share a drink together, could drink rosé, because I was nervous, and I thought the best way to cope with being nervous was to consume alcohol, and I quite liked rosé at the time, and I thought, well, I could just drink away my anxiety and make the fizzy sounds of the wine. Well, I think rosé doesn't have fizzy lines, that's champagne. Anyway, I've since stopped drinking, and it's been many years, and I'm going to change it to more suit my middle name, which is Rose. So my name is actually Anna Rose, but my nickname is Span, so call me Span, and I am Spantopia Rose. Spantopia is my big name, Rose is my middle name, Spantopia Rose, but you can call me Span. So I'm going to change hopefully by the time you get this video, the banner on YouTube and my name on YouTube will both be Spantopia Rose, and my idea in my head of the image for the banner is going to be a rose, probably a yellow rose, with spaceman sitting on it in space. That's my plan. So hopefully you see that, and it's just going to be Spantopia Rose ASMR with the little rose and the little spaceman, and that's my big change. So why did I give up drinking? I'm an Australian. How could I have given up drinking? I'm not an alcoholic. Why have I given up drinking? So the other day, I decided I would needed to relax and just have a cheeky little drink. First time this year, and I had a limoncello, and it was absolutely delicious. The first little taste, I was like, It's from a place called Wild Brumby, which is local to my Cooma region. I have a really sore temple, just is really sore. I can just... I don't know why. Oh, it's gaining on this side. So, I had this limoncello and I had 2 sips and it was amazing. I'll put a photo here if I remember, because it was a limoncello alcohol drink in a lemon glass specific, and it was just absolutely beautiful. But then I started to immediately get a headache and feel nauseous, and just, it really affected my body, and I found that really disappointing. And since then I haven't drunk, and it's not like I'm a big drinker, it's not like I have a wine, or sometimes if I'm out at the club getting dinner with my parents, I'll have a gin, but I'm just as happy to have a lemonade. Like, it wasn't, it would be so easy, don't get me wrong, it would be so easy to become an alcoholic. So I really like the effects of being drunk mentally up here in my mind, because it just sort of makes all of the pain duller and the problems just seem not so bad, and the kind of just puts you in a joyful, happy, la-di-da mood. But if it's also making you extremely ill and feel really sick in your body, then those effects aren't really worth, like, they don't happen anymore, they're not worth it, you know. So I've stopped drinking altogether. Also, last year I had a gluten-free beer with some friends, and that was quite nice, and it felt quite chill and cool to do that, but it was very different for me to do that, and I only did it because they offered, and I was like, I'll give it a go. But it wasn't something that I feel like would have completely changed the dynamic had I just been like, oh, no thanks, don't drink, don't feel like it. So I think that's a really important step. When I was talking to my therapist about this, I was like, and I can't drink anymore, and she was like, why don't you rewrite that narrative to say you don't drink, you choose not to drink? And I was like, yes, okay, I don't drink, not I can't drink, I don't drink. And it sounds like such a small nuance, but the language that we use is actually really important, and it shapes how we feel about ourselves and our world. So I give up drinking. I gave up drinking. Look, I wouldn't be surprised if in a few years from now somebody has a birthday party, like it's my, I don't know, my 40th, or I don't know, what even is next? My sister's 50th, yeah, yikes. And I do have some drinks, have a bit of a binge drink, go a little bit wild. That won't disappoint me, and I don't mind if that happens. I don't really foresee it happening at the moment because of how incredibly unwell I feel, like most of the time, all of the time, for various different reasons. But I have chronic pain and chronic illness and chronic issues. So I've got gut issues, and I've got like autonomic nervous system issues going on, and I'm desperately awaiting a call from my doctor because she cancelled my last appointment, and I was like, that appointment was like the last string that I was dearly holding on to, like clinging to the hope of this doctor's appointment. But no, I have no doubt she will come back, and I will get to go to my doctor's appointment, so I just have to cling to an apparition and hope that the doctor does call, and I do get to go and talk about my autonomic nervous system and my gut issues, and I'm 98% sure I've got long COVID. I just want to run it by her and see what she says. She said earlier in the year, because I've been going to her for over a year now, I have brought up long COVID before, and she did say that could definitely be true. I don't know much about that, and then we moved on to other problems that I have. This is my apple juice in my Lion King. Zipping up. I mainly use this in the computer room because if it doesn't spill, and I very nearly destroyed every single bit of electronic equipment I had, and they all got whacked, but luckily they all survived. Don't forget to be hydrated, by the way. Don't forget. Take a little sipsy of water, And if you're still here after hearing my two big announcements that I've quit drinking, that's such a big announcement, and I'm changing my channel name in response to me not drinking anymore, I realised it was a little bit outdated, and I just wanted to step away from that idea in my mind of an alcohol-based channel name. So I'm just bringing it back to me. This channel is all about me. You're welcome. Hydrate. Don't forget to hydrate. Yes, what was I saying? I'm growing out my hair. I dyed my roots pink. I think I'm gonna dye them red next. There's like a crumbly noise happening. Is my apartment burning down? So collapsing onto its own weight. People outside are making noises. But that's okay. So, yeah, this video today is just a quick little video to announce those things. Would you like to smell a spritz of this? Ready? Actually, I remember when I sprayed it in my eye. Oh, it smells nice. So this is Satsuma flavor, Satsuma fragrance that my partner gave me. My wrist brace makes so much noise. The reason I'm wearing a wrist brace is because when I press down to lean lean on it to get up, it sends a really sore, spiky pain in the back of my wrist slash hand, just there. There's a little hollow in the back of your hand, I don't know. I think everyone has it, just about there. There's like a little hollow in this hand. It spikes pain really, really badly when I put pressure on it, or if I like push against a door or like push against anything at all. It starts to really hurt. I have really acute sore pain, so I've got my brace for that on. I have been waking up in a lot of pain, and I've been really dizzy and lightheaded and unable to eat much. My stomach issues are very, very intense at the moment, and I have absolutely no hunger. My sense of wanting to eat food completely gone. I have to set alarms. In fact, I'm just going to turn off this. I'm just going to postpone this alarm because it's going to go off while I'm filming. That I should to eat. I have eaten today though, so that's good. So I'm just going to turn off this alarm. What day is it? What day is it? What day is it today? Wednesday. Okay. I was gonna turn off that alarm for now, because I have already eaten, and I will do my best to endeavour to eat again before dinner time. But my whole life revolves around food at the moment, because I get really dizzy and lightheaded and ill, and I've also done that thing with POTS where you measure your heart rate, which is why I've put this back on. I can't do much exercise because I feel absolutely terrible, and if I go for a walk I start getting pains in different areas, and it's actually quite intense at the moment. But I've put it on just to monitor my heart rate, and I did the test where you're lying down, and my heart rate was super low lying down, super low lying down, and then when I stood up it spiked to like 88, which was 30 above, or above 30 from what it was within the 10 minutes, and I did this 3 times just to, you know, check that I was doing it right, and each time the thing, it varied, and it never got up to 120. I was quite low, but the variation was above 30. So according to the internet, that is the poor man's test for POTS, and turns out I might have post-COVID induced POTS. I think, because all of these things are getting so much worse, and I've had COVID twice, and each time it's gotten worse and worse and worse. So I really want to not get COVID again, because I don't know what happens next. Like, what's worse? Like, just the intensity of the symptoms gets worse. I don't know. Ow. I'm not sure. Because I feel like I've been whacked in the head with a frying pan. Like, when did that happen? Hey. I might just take these off because the pressure of the glasses is actually hurting that. But yes. So those are my 2 big announcements. How do you feel? Do you like my lights? Look at this. The fabric sounds on. There we go. That's his little eyeballs. This is a little pineapple. I have the big version of this pineapple back at my mum and dad's house. But I also have this, which is this a mushroom? Is this a mushroom, or like a poppy? A poppy. I think it's a mushroom. Or a truffle. I choose to believe she's a truffle. I also have this one. Little piggy cow, little pink cow, little pink cow. I have the green cow and look, so nice. It's a lady beetle. So I got these from my partner just as a surprise because I was feeling poorly, and they went and got me nice little toys from the shop, and that's just lovely. It's really nice to squish them against my face. Would you like me to squish them against your face? Yeah, I'll squish these 2 against your face. The ladybug and the, I'm gonna say truffle. Do you know what this is? Let me know in the comments. But she's winking at you. Okay, so I'm just gonna stars. So Key from the Midori house taught me how to make paper stars. And so I made some stars. What is that noise? This is my favorite colored star at the moment. My idea is to get a really big jar or something and fill them with stars so I can put my whole hand into the jar of stars. You know, like when those little semi-precious stones, gemstones are on sale and they have little tubs and you stick your hands in them and go through them. Love doing that, but with paper stars this time. Also, I made some of my paper stars into clay, air-dried clay, and I want to show you those as well because I just want to. The first thing I want to show you though, oh no, they're stuck together, there we go, is Tony. This is Tony. Tony is friends with Spaceman. I think I may have shown you these before. Well, by pen. But I do just want to show you my spacemans that I drew. That I made with clay. I made this one. I recently I've been working on his paint job, but it's very rough painting. Like you can see how it's just not very good. But I painted the black lines on that one, and I've got this little one as well. So I love them, and they're friends with Tony. Tony, my spaceman, is friends with Tony. I love Tony. Tony is a little sad, depressed frog character that I made, and he's my favorite. I made him years ago. I just drew him, and then my brother made a sticker out of my drawing, and that's really nice. So Tony is an OC. And then we've got this, which is sort of in the style of the Midori house. I was following along with one of her live streams when I made that. Also when I made this, but this is more my Tony. The other one is now on the floor. So what happens is you make the paper stars and then you cover them with the clay. And when you do that, this clay is yellow because stars. You get little stars. I think they're really cute. These ones have spots on the circles on the back from where they were drying. But then if you take those, oh, that's nice. Let me just not drop them. I want to show you this one, which is more the size that the Midori house makes. She makes these tiny little stars and stuff, which is just the cutest thing ever. Not my style though. I prefer these bigger chunkier ones. Sorry, these bigger chunkier ones. With a different type of clay, with the polymer clay. I also made this. I made that, and I also made this, which is a starfish. And I like that starfish a lot. But so you take them like this, like with this consistency, and then you paint them with a nail polish. And they look like, well, not that one, that one's different. This one, this big one. They look like this, right? It just makes them more uniform, and because they're covered in nail polish. You gotta let them completely dry before you cover them in nail polish though. Look at this one. This is the Void Star. I love him so much. It's just black nail polish over the top. because I remember saying I was going to get a felt lining before I showed you them again, and I did not do that, and I forgot all about it until this very second, so sorry about that. I recently went to the show and got some lucky dips and 2 other things. That I got in the lucky dip was this tiny keychain fidget. Fidgets are all well and good, but they do tend to hurt my hands because the whole idea of them is that you're doing something with your hands, but the more I do things with my hands, the pain arises. And the other thing I got was this. Which I think is it's a wrist. So it's got a little unicorn head, and it's got a little tail, and the tail has a big hole in it, and you can stick its head through its tail. Or a Boris style, and then you've got a bracelet. I think that's what that is. But it makes nice sounds, like this. I haven't angled it so you can see the microphone, and that's going to be really annoying for you, because it's like... It's way better down near the microphone. Have you ever seen the rain? So it rained precisely one day this week, which was the day we went to a sunflower farm. Keep an eye out for shorts of that, because I've filmed some content, but I need to do some voiceovers because, let's be honest, they were playing really loud annoying music, and also there were a lot of people there, so the rain sounds that I was trying to capture were near impossible. Okay, my tummy's starting to feel a bit funny, so I'm gonna go. But thank you so much for being here for this big announcement. I feel like this year I'm really focusing in on my channel and making my channel really me-friendly, if that makes sense. Like, I'm posting 1 day a week. I'm changing the name away from alcohol that I don't drink anyway. And I'm not pressuring myself anymore to like run a business or, you know, sell my art or any of that stuff, because I'm accepting my disability and my chronic illness. It's really tricky, but my hyperfixation, my special interest, is actually making these videos with you. It's like one of the few things I can do successfully, and without too much pain. Now that I'm not doing the snapping videos as well, if I just focus on triggers that don't hurt me, like whispering's really good for that. That's what I'm doing. I'm spending this year focusing on things that I love, and I love this, and I love you, so that's really good. And on my health and well-being, and I know I've said a million times, so it hurts. There's a little pimple up here, right? But it hurts a lot down here, which I don't think is the same. Anyway, I know I've been focusing on my health and prioritizing myself for quite a long time, but I'm like actually doing it this, like, I'm not trying to keep up with anyone, not even my mum. Like, my whole life I've been doing things with my mum, and maybe I can't keep up with my mum anymore. I can't keep up, and I don't have to. I have to learn my own pacing and what works for me and my body, and at the moment my body is like, no. I really want to go and get a zoo pass so I can use my special interest in animals and my dopamine mean from seeing tigers and lions and other animals from the zoo. But I haven't had the energy to get fully dressed and leave the house and talk to people, to buy the ticket, to do the things. So I'm not pressuring myself to do that. Stop touching that. I'm not pressuring myself to do that this week. I did say, oh, that's something I might do this week, but then every day this week I've woken up feeling very poorly. So I'm just gonna wait until I feel like there's a day where I can do that. And then maybe you'll get some zoo content. Yay. And I will get some incidental exercise and human interaction. That was a cute noise. Okay, sorry. Okay, I'm gonna go because the video's about to cut out. I love you so much. I hope you have a really good night. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for breathing.